All right, here we are. Doug Reynolds, Better Homes and Gardens. Matt, the mortgage guy, Answer Home Loans. I've got a question for you, Doug, because I get quite a few buyers that call me up and we're going through the pre-approval process. They haven't really delved into looking at houses and making offers, and they just ask me straightforwardly, is it a buyer's or seller's market? They may have heard one thing from a relative, something else from somebody down the street, and seen something on the news. So what's your take?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a question I get right away from pretty much all buyers and most sellers as well too. So quick little historical history. 2018, the first half of the year was just an insane seller's market. There basically was no inventory, and so there was more buyers than there were homes available. So we had multiple offers, everything going at or above list price. As we kind of went through the summer and beginning of fall, the inventory started to increase a bit, and there was a little bit more options for buyers. So it wasn't quite as intense. And then once we got to fall and winter, the inventory really had increased to the point where buyers kind of were not competing so intensely as they were earlier in the year. And so that basically created a balance in the market. So we've had a few years of sellers having all the power. Right now, we're kind of at a bit of a balanced market, and that's basically due to supply and demand. But really, you got to go more deeper than that. You can't just give a blanket statement for Sacramento real estate. I mean, we have homes in the roughest areas that, they sell for $200,000, and we've got beautiful, gorgeous neighborhoods that have $2 million homes as well too. So it depends at what price point you're at as well too. Yeah. If you're looking $300,000 and below, you can say it's leaning towards sellers a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit, just because there's so many buyers looking in that price range that there's not that many homes available. But if you start going to more like $300,000 to $600,000, that's kind of the middle meat of our market. That's kind of the balance there. Depends on the neighborhood as well too. And then you start getting into the higher end of the market, and definitely there's more available than buyers out there. So buyers have a little bit more power in there. So it really depends on what price point you're talking about. It really depends on what neighborhood you're talking about. If you really want me just to give you a blanket statement, I'd say we're at a bit of a balanced market. However, there's a little bit of disconnect in the market too, where sellers still kind of think it's this crazy seller's market and they can ask any price that they want and demand anything, and they quickly come to reality. I mean, we're seeing a lot of homes out there that are sitting on the market 30, 60, 90 days. Yeah. And, if your house is $800,000 and below, your home shouldn't be on the market for 90 days. It's pricing. There's something wrong with it for sure. So we've got sellers over here that are kind of thinking it's still 2017, 2018. But then we got buyers where they're kind of over in no man's land too. They think it's this crazy buyer's market where they've got all this power now all of a sudden too, where there's a little bit of disconnect there where they're thinking, I'm going to lowball them, or I'm going to, they're going to put a new roof on the house for me, put all new windows in, they're going to do paint and carpet for me. Oh, and, they're going to lower the price too, just because I ask for it, And so there's a little bit of disconnect there too. So the people that are having success in this market are the sellers that are understanding it. They don't have all the power anymore, but there are buyers. So it's about pricing it right, showing well, and having an agent that does good marketing. That's where the sellers are having success. And then the buyers are having success where they're realistic yet understand. It's important that I know my price point, I know the market and the neighborhood. That's where it comes into working with a really good agent. And then from there, it's the appropriate amount of negotiation on what is common, what is realistic, what is real to have happen, so that we can have a meeting of the minds and make this work. So
that's an awesome
long answer.
Yeah, all in a nutshell. I mean, I think the word I heard that stuck out to me the most is be realistic. And be realistic and talk to an expert. I think that's a great takeaway from that. Thanks,
yeah, no problem.